another session of Talk and Flow. Today we had with us a very special guest. She's Jaclyn Schnau. She's the co-founder of Pumpkin Organics. You probably have seen already Pumpkin Organics on our Instagram and also on our website. So Jaclyn, we are so happy to have you today with us. And we wanted actually to talk with Jaclyn a couple of weeks ago, and we couldn't do it. So we're happy that we finally made it. She will tell us later what she's been doing all this week. She's been super busy. So Jaclyn, welcome. And yeah, maybe introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, and maybe a little bit about Pumpkin Organics and what's behind your brand and your products.
Fantastic. Sarah, thank you so much for having us. We are big fans of what you guys are doing. Such a necessary kind of approach and bringing excitement and new life to it. So yeah, really, we're excited to be part of it. Thank you. Okay, a little bit about me. So I'm the founder of Pumpkin Organics. I'm a mom of a 2.5-year-old. I'm not sure which one keeps me more busy. But I definitely love having both in my life, and they give me a ton of energy to really go after the mission of Pumpkin, which is to truly change the trajectory of children's health. It's hard to explain, right? But you know what it's like when you're a mom, your priorities change, your view on the world changes, where your heart bleeds. It's a completely different dynamic than before you have kids. And now I had Olivia, only 2.5 years ago. I started the company 5 years ago, but our desire to truly impact children's health is just growing immensely. The reason I started Pumpkin is I come from Saskatchewan in Canada, which is like one of the food bread baskets of the world. I grew up with fresh food, big family dinners. I didn't really know that wasn't how the world was. When you're a child, you're so protected in your environment and you think this is what everybody has. And it wasn't until I kind of went out there into the real world, shall we call it, where I realized food is nothing we can take for granted. The way big corporate America or Europe looks at food, it's about Wall Street, or it's about financial earnings. It's about profit. It's really not about nutrition or how we grow it. Is it sustainable? Is it rejuvenating to the soil? Are we respecting the farmers? Is it really like contaminants in sugar or sugar is still sugar, even if it's Demeter or not? There is so much confusion around it. And being in that food industry, I just said, this is a motivation. I want to change. I want to bring clarity. I want to bring focus. And when I had to solve my own health issues, this was the catalyst. I said, I'm done with real job or whatever you want to call it. And now my focus is on healing myself, but then also sharing that knowledge, bringing awareness, bringing education, bringing access to as many people as I can. And the main way to do this, once I started looking into where food impacts the most is kids. It's absolutely astonishing what we have on the shelf today.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I feel super identified with all what you're saying. Also, as a mom, your priorities change completely once you become a mom. And also regarding this about how we don't really know what we are consuming. I think this is the main problem. If people were really educated on what they are consuming and why they should do it, this will be probably different, no? And I think it's so great what you are doing because, at least people are starting to really be aware of the importance of knowing, okay, what I'm giving my children, is it really that healthy, or what I buy? And because usually people just are too focused on what the labels say. So if on the label it says, okay, healthy, bio, or something like that, then you will feel fine and you will just buy it. But actually, there's much more behind that. You should really know, okay, where is this food coming from? What you just said, the source of the food. And we're trying also to teach parents to read the labels. Of course, you don't need to be super strict about it, and it doesn't mean that you all the time need to read all the ingredients and things, but at least that there's yeah, a little bit of knowledge about what's in there.
And
So
the knowledge is super important, but the knowledge, where do they get it from, right? So really knowledge with a high sense of transparency and a high sense of trust. Like right now, we all think fresh fruit, or we all think pureed fruit based on what is on the shelf, that like the shelf set, you would think pureed fruit is healthy. But there's no reason why any child should be given a 100% pureed fruit food. There's no nutritional value that compensates for the negative value of it, both from training the mind, because the mind goes into the sugar shock.
mm-hmm.
The body cannot handle that level of fructose. And when the fructose goes in with no fiber, the body just splits it into glucose and fructose, and those little livers, those little pancreases, they can't handle it. It's not transformed into energy. Like people think, oh, it's fruit, it's healthy, that's energy I'm giving my baby. That's not what the body does with it, because the body can't handle it. It goes into the fat cells. It goes into the brain and says to the child, this is what I need to eat. And then they crave more sweet.
Yeah.
It spikes their blood sugar. And then we yell at children because they're misbehaving. Like there's such a domino effect to us as society, how we treat children based on how we feed them, that just completely it doesn't make sense. And that's one of the reasons we have to actually, what is the education that people are getting? What is awareness? It's not, like you said, it's not just about reading labels. It's understanding how does that food impact their bodies and their ability to grow and learn and sing and dance and play and contribute. And that doesn't come from high food or
I mean, I really like what you say, because it's everything. I mean, we talk a lot about the eating learning experience, because we think it's really many things, many factors that impact the nutrition of our children. Mm-hmm. So we know you love cooking with Olivia. We have seen you cooking, and we also kind of incentivize parents to do this, to really make children part of the experience. I mean, there are so many things around this experience. How veggies grow, where you go and buy groceries at the supermarket or at the market. So many things. There are so many experiences, so many, how you cook, how you eat on the table, you eat on the floor, you prepare it with your child, or you buy, for example, pumpkin organics products and maybe just reinvent them, not necessarily eat the whole glass of I don't know, bye. But maybe just create something new out of what you guys offer. Yeah. So I think it's so really great, Jaclyn, what you're doing, not only with your products, because of course they are great, but it's more than that. It's more than, I mean, what we see at the supermarket. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted you to tell us a little bit more about what products you offer. I know you have a huge range. You also have these squishes, which are like super cool. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, fantastic. So we actually put a lot of thought into our products. Our R&D is not based about what is on the shelf already. Our development is, what does the child need? So when we look at our product portfolio, we really focus on snacks and what we call family foods. Every one of our products is designed to support parents in their feeding journey. We do not want to replace a meal. We don't want a child to have a whole meal of pumpkin. That's completely contradictory to our entire purpose or vision. We want parents to make dinner at the table, sit and talk, and get the child into the kitchen, like you said, and be part of the whole process. So that's why we supplement with pasta sauces that every child loves, but also our pouches. I'm sorry, but every parent knows you need snacks. And when your child wants a snack, you need it now, right? And it's easy to carry apple slices or some cut up grapes in your bag, but it is not easy to carry cut up broccoli. In fact, should a child even have raw broccoli all the time, right? So there's so many fundamental questions. So what we wanted to do was solve this incredible need that parents had for healthy snacks on the go. So our pouches, we have the highest veggie count in the market, and we don't have anything else, any additives in it. We actually balance them completely naturally with a little bit of fruit. So the enzyme levels, the phosphate, pH, the nitrate levels are all balanced completely for what the body needs with with the makeup of the ingredients. They're also thicker than normal because a child needs to chew. They need to produce saliva in their mouth. That is how the digestion process works. If you have something so quick down, the body doesn't actually have time to actually take that energy in. So the pouches are thicker. We also sell them with a spoon that you attach. So you actually engage with the child. You look into their eye while you eat. They eat. Plus, even Olivia, she puts her spoon on, and she's 2.5, and she eats it off the spoon a lot of the time because it's also fun and it's novelty and it's fun. Like you can make a game out of the eating experience. But the other thing we do with our pouches, our new range, all have omega rapeseed oil or olive oil in them. People need to put oils, healthy plant-based omega-3 like rapeseed oil in the food to improve the digestion. All of our products have grains in them to give that extra carbohydrate and that energy boost to match with the protein of the vegetables and the fruit. And all the packages are 100% recyclable. We're only the 3rd company in Europe to have these. It's not because we're overly large, but our voice is loud. We want to change the way food and snacks are. Children need to learn that these things, like they need to think of the entire construct about the food. And so when they're finished the pouch, they can now take it with all the other recyclables and learn with mom and dad to put it into the recycle bin. And the last part on this is our puffed snacks. Well, not the last, but our next thing is puffed snacks. We do it with lentils. We do it with peas because you don't need to do it with wheat. Wheat is so over-farmed and there's so much corn in snacks now. Like we need actual ingredients, plant-based ingredients that have nutritional value, have functional value. So our puffs have double the protein to what's on the market. Our oat bars are 47% oats, not 80% fruit, like the majority of products on the market. So they have way less sugar and way more fiber, as you can imagine. And they actually fill the bodies with real good energy, right? It's slow release energy. It's oats. So the kids feel fuller longer. It's not about getting your child to eat 2 or 3 of them for us to sell more. It's about giving a functional benefit to you as a parent that you feel good, that you're giving it to the child. And then, of course, our pasta sauces, and then we have brie and other things, and also another 3 new products coming out in 2 weeks. And then which we're very excited about, which again are 100% on our mission. And then next year we have 2 new categories coming up.
Okay.
Really excited about bringing parents and kids together in the kitchen and doing things, learning together, playing together, and then eating together.
We are looking forward to seeing your future products coming up.
Yeah, us too.
But that's what you mentioned about the fiber and how you should balance fruit in meals. I think this is a very common question among parents, because many parents think, okay, yeah, then should I give then my child fruit? Yeah, fruits are important, of course, but maybe not too much. And we also encourage fruit to be included in every meal a little bit. I mean, you shouldn't make it something like a special fruit. All food are actually special. So we try not to say, okay, yeah, here's dessert, so fruit, no, or ice cream. Yeah. But I think you make this actually very well in your products, because they include everything. All what children need is there.
Everything.
Yeah. So I think this is fantastic.
And it's really important that when you eat these fruits or vegetables, like you mentioned, do it in season. So set up a calendar with your kids and give them stickers or markers or paint. And when it's strawberry season, paint the strawberry, go to the market, touch it, smell it, ask them to pick it out. Because every time you bring them into the engagement with that product, they start to own it, right?
Exactly.
And
I love what you're saying, because
yeah,
this is actually what we are trying now to, yeah, we're working on right now at Feel Flow. We're creating actually a series of activities to show parents that actually can involve in daily activities your
that's
children, to
exactly the key.
exactly, to make them active part of the process. So yeah, I love that you mentioned that, because sometimes, for example, with Melissa, she's asking me, but I don't know, the activities don't come to my mind. And I was like, it's everything. It's everything, Melly.
You know, when like two of the ones I with Olivia, when we go to the market, I ask her, okay, today go find me something yellow. Yellow, yellow. And then she hops off and she'll find a lemon or a mango and she brings it back. Okay, now we need something big. And of course, she tries to pick up a watermelon, and I'm just really excited she hasn't dropped one yet. But there's so much learning you can do with food, and to get them excited about it. These little tiny pears. Like I said, go find at the fruit stand, get a fruit that is the same for mommy, a big one, and for you, a baby one. And she went and got a mommy pear and a baby pear. And this is the thing. Just you don't need to have a big drama. You don't need to have this big planning. Just go and look what's there and make stuff up. You don't need to be right. You don't need to say, okay, Olivia, go find the vegetable with the highest amount of fiber. Like this is not the point. The point is, how do you get them to understand the color and the smell and the seasonality of the food and have fun with it? And that little pear, she was so proud of it. She didn't put it down. And that's the point. And the same thing with carrots, right? There's baby carrots and there's mommy carrots or daddy carrots, whoever was shopping. Right? Cucumbers, baby carrots, big cucumbers. And so you can have a whole little family that you make up, and then you can tell stories with them. And mommy cucumber, daddy cucumber, little sister, big brother, or whatever the family composition is of cucumbers. And then talk about where they come from, what season, how the outside is rough, the inside is soft, the inside has seeds, the inside is full of water. What else is full of water? Like it's so easy to engage in food as a learning.
And the most important, I really like what you're saying, also because it brings to my mind something very important, and it's how this has a huge impact at different levels, not only when we come to learning about nutrition, but also about other important skills that our children will learn by involving them in this sort of activities.
Absolutely. It's
So
endless. It's endless.
I think, Jaclyn, really thank you so much for bringing your perspectives today to our talk. As I said before, we really, really like what you guys are doing. We hope to be able to support you in the future even more. Yeah, so I won't ask you what make you unique, because I think this is clear. I mean, just mentioned so many things that I'm sure all parents, at least those who live in Germany, know that it's not so easy to find products with your characteristics, also a brand with your values. But I have a last question. What would you say is your purpose? So with Pumpkin Organics, and also maybe as a professional and as the co-founder of Pumpkin Organics.
I always answer this question with 2 points, but a little bit abstract, or one very concrete. We want to change the trajectory of children's health. We want to teach children to make good food decisions, not perfect eaters, but when they're little, we want to train them. How do you make lifelong healthy eating habits that later you're making good food choices on your own? And the second one is, I'm a mom. I'm a female founder. We want to support other women, whatever they want to do. I am so tired of all of this mom shaming and women that are not supporting each other, and then on a bigger circle, that society is not supporting women and moms. And this is the other thing that I am so proud of that we have with Pumpkin is that we get a voice to get out there and say, guys, let's get this keto system working so women can get back to work or whatever choice they make. But the fact is that the infrastructure doesn't limit them. Because our daughters, our sons, our kids, like everyone, they need to see mom happy, contributing, equal. And often that comes with having support and that we're not just doing all the care activities at home. And that we get out there and we find ourselves, we have our voice, we have our purpose. A little bit beyond just our kids, which is still our fundamental purpose. But that's the other thing that we really, that's what keeps me going. That's what gets me up in the morning. I want Olivia to see a world where every single woman she sees in it is equal. I know that's a dream of mine. And if I can start to pave that way by giving her and her little friends healthy nutrition and giving access to moms for jobs and fighting for moms, that's a legacy I'll be very, very proud that she can carry on with.
I love that you say that, because you know that we also support actually mompreneurs. Most of our collaborators are also mompreneurs, and I mean I am too.
No, that's
I know. I mean, we know how difficult it is. Also because of what you mentioned before, that our priorities just change when we become parents. But I think it's great. I mean, it's great that there's a conversation now going on out there, and that we can contribute somehow to this important topic. And so we're so happy to have you being part of our community. And maybe you have an invitation for our followers, something you would like to just tell to close this amazing talk.
I think it's join the journey, follow what you guys are doing, engage, talk, ask questions, have fun with the feeding journey, and let's just set our kids up for the best future they've got. And we're just very proud to be part of it here, in here. So let's just be moms who support moms and give our kids the best start we can. It's the only invitation I can think of, to be honest. I think it sums up everything that I want to do in a day.
Thank you, Jaclyn. Yeah, so if you want to learn more about Pumpkin Organics, we have some information on our website. We'll be also posting, as we already have done in the past, your last updates, and so our followers can also learn about what's coming up. And so thank you again. It was great talking to you.
You as well, Sarah.
We finally made it. Yeah, so thank you, Jaclyn. Hope to have you again with us in one of our talks or our future sessions. It will be great.
It would be a pleasure. Absolutely. Thanks, Sarah.
Okay, have a nice day and a nice weekend.
You too. Enjoy the sun.
Yeah, I will. You too.